We're all set up. We're going to spend a couple of days here in the Isthmus. Really looking forward to it. We were contemplating that we were going to cook a couple of steaks on the grill. We got them out of the fridge. That new fridge that we were working on the last video, that new fridge froze my steaks. So now I'm going to have to thaw them out. We're going to have to cook them another day. So tonight, it is hot dogs, fresh off the grill. We're looking forward to it. We're kind of hungry. Right, Carm?
Yeah.
All right, we're going to go eat.
Welcome back to Flight Level Zero. We're moored up at the Isthmus Cove and Two Harbors on Catalina Island, one of our favorite spots to come out to on the weekends. If you're not familiar, Two Harbors is a small community on the opposite end of the island from Avalon. You've got two mooring fields here, one in the Isthmus Cove where we are, and on the other side of the Isthmus there is Cat Harbor, or Catalina Harbor. Has quite a few moorings on that side as well. And it's a very protected cove, so if you're looking for a safe harbor to pull into, that would be it. There are miles and miles and miles of hiking trails through these gorgeous mountains over on this side of the island, including the Trans-Catalina Trail that you can hike from one end of the island all the way down to the other, and you'll see quite a few people hiking as well as mountain biking down that trail. Well worth the adventure if you're into that kind of thing. Over on this side of the island, they also have a very well-maintained campground that includes cooking facilities, restroom facilities. They've got a private beach there at the foothill along the mooring field that has some great dive spots. They also have these bungalows that you can rent. I believe you can reserve them online. These bungalows are very well maintained. They have, I believe, 6 or 8 cots in them, so you can put a pretty good group of people in there. They're very well maintained and they're used quite often, although we haven't done it. But they look very inviting. It's a nice area and a very short hike from the town of Two Harbors where the store is. We're going to take you on a quick hike through some of these trails, show you around the Cherry Cove and 4th of July Cove area, so let's go for a walk.
All right, so this is Two Harbors, the little beach area. Pretty well maintained. They do charge to use it, at least inside the fenced area they charge to use it, but it's really well maintained. They've got some palapas out there you can use. If you don't want to pay, there's a free area up here with some picnic tables. Mutiny on the Bounty was filmed here. There were quite a few westerns shot here as well, and it's the reason that there's so many buffalo on the island now. They imported the buffalo for some of the movies, and when the movies were done, they left them, and they're still here today. We're going to hike on around towards the Cherry Cove, 4th of July area. I'm not sure we're going the right way, but we'll see. Some folks out there enjoying the beach. Yeah, we made it maybe 100 yards and we're already taking a break. So our first lesson learned is when you leave Two Harbors, don't walk along the beach to get up here. There's a narrow trail that gets you up to this path, but it's a narrow trail straight up a hill, and you can see we already climbed quite a bit. You can see we already climbed quite a bit in elevation. Welcome to Catalina Island. You are entering the protected lands of the Catalina Island Conservancy. Treat the island with care and respect. Couldn't agree more. Bill Wrigley was mostly the responsible one for creating the conservancy. He owned most of the island, and when he passed away, his estate created the Catalina Island Conservancy that protects 99% of the island from development. The area of Two Harbors, which was a movie set, for many, many years, and Avalon are the only two developed areas on the island. Other than that, it's just some random camping spots. The Boy Scouts have a camp here. I think there's a couple of other camps. They're saying that in 1924 a film crew brought 14 American bison to Catalina Island. I think the number's up to about 125 right now. That's actually down from a herd of about 300. They made an attempt at removing some of them a few years ago. My understanding is that they sterilized some of the bulls, and that's created a reduction in the size of the herd. Unfortunately, I'm not really sure why they would have done that, but that's my understanding of it.
St. Catherine's Lace. So, like when I see something that we come across that I want to know what it is, I use this app that's called Picture This, and you just take a picture of it and it'll scan the picture. And it tells you what it is. Indian blanket.
So again, that's the isthmus. That's aeronautical parked off in the distance. As you come out of the harbor, that white rock right there is affectionately called Bird Rock. It's a bird sanctuary, and it's white for a reason. I'll let you figure that out. And then out here in the distance, if you can see it, that other rock is Ship Rock. July Cove, and you can see why it's a preferred spot. If you're lucky enough to get deep into the cove and pick up one of these moorings, it's highly protected and it's deep water. Pretty neat spot, but when it fills up, it is really, really tight. So if you decide to pick up a mooring here, I'd certainly put out some fenders and keep an eye on your boat. But real neat little area. We made it back to civilization. Walking back down that steep path back into the isthmus. 2 hours. I'm gonna go do a little grocery shopping. Speak to the harbor department about a couple of things and head back to Aeronautical for some lunch. They do have a maintenance shop here. It's got a little bit of help for you if you have a mechanical issue on your boat. It's kind of tucked away back here in the corner, so don't forget that it's here if you need them. And that is right next to the general store, which is this building. General store has just about everything you would need. It's like a small grocery store. How's it going? Including a pretty good selection of wine and beer. Not bad for a little spot. You want to shop now, or you want to go grab a ice cream cone?
So this is cool. I looked up and I saw the Irving Johnson at anchor just outside the mooring field this morning, so I had to launch the drone and go check it out. If you're not familiar with the Irving Johnson, it's actually 2 ships. The Irving Johnson, the sister ship, the Exie Johnson, are part of the Los Angeles Maritime Institute's top sail program for at-risk youth. They take kids out on these boats and they teach them teamwork and discipline through sailing. It looks like an old 1800s tall ship, but it's actually a modern design. I believe these ships were built in the early 2000s, around 2002, 2003 or so. The Irving Johnson, this ship, was almost lost in 2005 when it ran aground. But they recovered it, and they spent about $2 million doing a full restoration on her. And she is back in the water and back sailing as part of the topsail program. The ships are named after Irving McClure Johnson and Alexa Johnson, Exie. Irving Johnson is a very well-known sailing pioneer. Taught sailing. He was an author. You can find quite a few of his books online. They're worth checking out. Pretty cool experience to be able to see them out here at anchor next to us while we're enjoying this beautiful afternoon.
Good morning from Two Harbors. We are already off the mooring ball. So we are pulling out of the harbor right now. A little bit choppy heading out. Just a little bit gray, but I see a lot of blue sky poking out, so I think it's going to be a beautiful day. And down to Avalon, and we're really looking forward to it. It's going to be a lot of fun. Okay, so we just cruised past Cherry Cove on our way down to the west end of the island. It's a bit of a bash to get up here because the winds are right in our face, and swells are pretty tall, but we'll make it around the west end and hopefully put the sails up and sail on down to the other end. But I wanted to point out something. Right over here, if you can see that marker off in the distance, that is the Eagle Reef buoy. If you're coming up here to this end of the island, just past Cherry Cove up towards Emerald Bay, that marks the Eagle Reef, and it gets very, very shallow just on the other side of that marker. So if you're heading over here, be extremely careful and keep an eye out for that marker and make sure you stay well away from that area. Just beyond that is going to be Indian Rock. I'll point that out as we get a little bit closer. There in the distance, that white rock is Indian Rock. You can see how gorgeous that valley is over there. Beautiful area. Here, great view of Indian Rock, all lit up by the sunshine. This mooring area. The valley is gorgeous. Indian Rock right there off in the distance. Gorgeous, gorgeous area on the west end of the island. As you can see, I got my jacket on again because it's gotten a little bit chilly just with the breeze. The sun's out and it's actually not terrible, but the breeze makes it a little bit chilly. Right now we're on about a 2:30 heading. We're going to tack out quite a bit, go do a little bit of sailing just for fun because we do have some good winds. We've got the sails out, so we're going to go enjoy the sail on this side of the island, tack our way back into Avalon here in just a little bit, and continue on with our weekend.
We don't have a schedule this week, so we just decided to stop. We are sitting in the middle of the ocean just off the coast of Catalina, listening to our daughter Katie Beth's last radio show from Boston. How good is that?
Katie and I definitely came together on. We did not realize how much we both really enjoyed him, and then we ended up playing a ton of his songs over the course of the few seasons, just because he's got.
Our daughter's a senior at Northeastern University in Boston, and she's been a DJ on a radio show with her freshman year roommate for the last 4 years. And they were broadcasting their very last show today, so we decided to just stop, float, enjoy this nice sunshine, and listen to her last radio show. So to our daughter Katie Beth, congratulations on a great college career. Very proud of you, sweetie. We love you. You know, some days are just better than others, and today was an epic day for sailing. We have had so much fun on this leg of this trip. I can't even tell you. It was really just a perfect day for sailing. The winds were perfect, the seas were perfect. We made a good call to turn around on the west end of the island and come back down this side, because I'm telling you, this was a great day of sailing. And now that we're approaching Avalon, you can see that the weather is just stellar. So we are really looking forward to getting tied up in Avalon and getting out on the island and having some fun and celebrating this day. Made it to the entrance of Avalon once again. We're just hanging out waiting on the harbor master to come out and assign us a mooring. We're gonna have our pick because it's pretty much wide open today. There's hardly anybody here except for all of the cruise ship passengers. Looks like they're shuttling people back and forth on the tenders right now. My guess is they're going to be leaving here in a bit, so Avalon will be nice and peaceful once again. Well, good morning from beautiful Catalina Island. Unfortunately, our plans have changed a little bit. Got up this morning, actually last night, before we went in for the night and checked the weather, and we're expecting a gale, probably going to last through Saturday. So unfortunately, these things can change your plans when you're out on a sailboat, and it's changing ours. We are about to bug out of Catalina. We're going to call this trip done and head on back to San Pedro. So unfortunate, but you know, these things happen when you're on a sailboat. On an upside, it looks like today's going to be a nice day for sailing. We've got some good winds and the seas are reasonable, so we're kind of looking forward to getting out on the water and doing a little bit of sailing. It was an epic day yesterday, as you saw in the video, and we're hoping for more of the same today. So we're going to get out of the way of this gale that's coming and head on home. We'll see you on the other side. Well, we're on our way back. It was the right call to make. Seas are already getting pretty churned up out here. I would say that we're already looking at 4 to 5 foot seas, pretty closely spaced swells. I'd probably say no more than 6 or 7 seconds. So they're quartering on the bow. It's not the worst ride. It's not a great ride, but in hindsight, I think it was the right call to make. So we're heading on back to San Pedro. Try and get you some video along the way. It's always hard to show the sea state because it doesn't show up well on camera, but we'll do our best and kind of give you an idea. We got the sails reefed down. We're looking at about 14 knots right now, but I expect it's going to pick up quite a bit as we make our way around the shadow of the island. So I got the sails reefed down, and we're just trucking along direct to the harbor entrance. videos, you know what that means. That means we've reached the end of our journey for this week. We've had a great sail. It was a good call to come back today because the Coast Guard has been broadcasting the gale warning pretty much the entire crossing coming across the channel. Unfortunately, we had to cut the trip short, but we'll be back next week again doing another journey out to Catalina or somewhere else. So until then, Aeronautical is out.